Hello there and welcome back to the channel where we show you that trading is as easy as you make it on yourself. Hi, my name is Jenny Baker, and for those of y'all who don't know me, I am the six-figure trading coach. And tonight we're going to be going over really just a couple of our public 4-hour swing trading experiment. All we're doing here is using the same strategy that we use as an entry method in our morning classes, in our private community, to look at things from obviously a much larger time frame to show you that trading is literally as easy as you make it on yourself. And by no means does that mean you're never going to take a loss. Does it mean you're always going to be perfect and you're never going to have any down weeks? That's not what we're saying. I'm just saying that people, if they would stick with one strategy, create rules and a system that allows them to be profitable over time, they will inevitably have success. And I think that's a huge part of people's trading, journey and the mistakes that they make. So without further ado, of course, we're going to stop real quick and say, here's our disclaimer. Remember, we're in an environment with right now is just completely rocky between the brokers and the government and the SEC and everything in between, right? We know that. So please be careful. Please do not invest what you cannot afford to lose. I don't care if that's in the Forex market, futures, options, cryptocurrency stocks, or anything along those lines. That goes without saying, which means you have to stop coming to communities and say, hey, I only have this is my $500. It's all I have. Probably not a good idea to be investing that if that's all you have. You need to be trading and investing with money that is liquid, that is fluid, that you don't mind if you win or lose that as you're learning and as you're growing. Or, of course, you can go to demo trading, paper trading, that sort of thing. For those of y'all who don't know, brokers, we're losing more and more. Day after day after day, we're losing more and more as an American. I need to probably update this or find a way to folder it a little bit in terms of a few prop firms that are still currently taking U.S. clients. There are a few out there. And of course, brokers that do still have meta quotes and also take U.S. clients, they're getting a little bit more rare, but we're holding on to the ones we have. In class, we typically right now are using Hero just because of their platform. And in terms of funds, I have a lot of my funds in terms of at LQD and N1C. Both of those links are in this link tree right here. And of course, if you'd like to be part of our free public community, we need to update this link tree, but it'll be the top link once we update it. And otherwise, our paid members, our private area, where you'll have access to everything we're doing, including newly released EAs, managers, equity protectors, our strategy, our morning calls, live trade ideas, and of course our copiers, and everything in between. That would be our private group. So please make sure you click that and check it out. And without further ado, let's take a look at how our trades have been doing. Okay, so as per our 4-hour public experiment, let's make sure that this is entirely on the screen. It's a little bit janky. There we go. This is what we've been doing about every 2 weeks. I know I missed last week. I was kind of with my youngest son pretty much from day to night. He had his track meet for county and it went really well. We had a great day overall, although we did not continue on to state. Still a great day. So here we are 3 weeks technically later. Just taking a look real quick. Remember, we've been at this particular, video every 2 weeks or so live on YouTube since about last May. So we're coming up on a full year. Mind you, most of these are not indices, so of course this pip count's not going to be that high. But let's take a look. The accuracy overall averaging about 88%. The average win to loss ratio is somewhere between 3.3 and 2.86, and that's between realized and actual risk, right? Either way, not a bad way to be. If you take a look at this and just say, hey, wait, what if I did this with a demo account? What if I just followed along with these things and all I had to risk was 1%? I had a very small balance. This is what you would have earned in that amount of time. Not bad. If you had 1,000, okay, if you risk slightly more or less. These are obviously round numbers, but just to give you an idea, the trading is a way of compounding your money. It does not mean that every week is going to be perfect. It does not mean you're going to hit exactly this. So figure if you're able to duplicate these results even by 50%, even if you fail at this by 90%, you're still literally making more than not only Wall Street, but you're making 10, 20, 30 times more than anything your bank, the best money market account, most of the banks can offer. You're making 20 times that, even with the wins and losses. The difference is when you put your money in Acorns or Stash or your savings account, you see the 5%, whatever, depending on your account, 4% in this period of time, right? They add it to your account at the end of the month, the end of the year, et cetera, a quarter, depending on whatever system you're using. You don't have to see the wins and losses. I think that aspect is what makes it really hard as a trading, as a trader, as an investor, as a day trader, as a retail trader, to see their account do that versus looking at it from that 10,000 foot view in the course of the year, wait a minute, I've made 50%. Whereas if I had my money anywhere else, I might have made 4 best case scenario. That's a huge difference. You do that a few years in a row and it's life changing. Even if maybe you don't have 6 figures to play with, $250,000, $50,000 to play with, you can like literally change your family's future just with that one system, just being able to make 50% a few years in a row. And mind you, we're getting a lot more than that over time. So here's where we're at 3 weeks ago. We looked at these 2 trades. Remember, the information is spelled out in advance, meaning it's not subjective to what Jenny says or what so-and-so says. Our stop loss is always at 4-hour structure. We're always protecting, locking, scaling, or trailing at 1 ETR or 25 to 50 pips, no matter what. If the trade breaks structure, the trade is no longer valid. If it does not, the trade is still considered valid. All of this is all predefined. And then here are our stats. So I usually keep this one hidden. I will hide that. I'm trying to clean it up for human consumption a little bit. But this is what we're doing. This week, tomorrow's CPI. So there's a lot of trades I'm looking at, but not a lot that are setting up particularly with this strategy on this time frame. So to stay true to form, I only have these 2. And please notice they are doubled up in terms of the chef. So we have to be very careful and very mindful there. But that's where we're at. For those of y'all who are curious, this is where we're sitting in terms of our morning classes. Mind you, those are a lot of pips and a lot of indices. We had a lot this morning, a couple of thousand on US 30. Just happened to work out great. Still looking for a continuation. I know a few of us have additional entries there as well. But overall, again, not a bad way to be. It doesn't mean, look at this string of losses. Okay, that's a huge string. Sometimes we're going to have this period like this where we just have no losses, right? But inevitably, this period happens too. So we did hit that period, and not only in more than one group, actually, if you want the whole truth, between copier accounts, brokers, servers, everything in between, EAs, the whole 9. But that's okay, because we know at the end of the month, the quarter, the whatever, we're still back on this trajectory. We can assume we're going to come somewhere near this. If you're using some kind of a mirroring system, figure you're probably going to come in less than that. I always add about a 20% cushion to anything along those lines, just because that's the cost of variance, in my opinion. I don't care what broker or service you're using. It's just about 20% difference. And I like to give myself that much room for mental peace. But not a bad way to be. So let's go take a look at these trades that we looked at from a few days ago. And yes, we did analyze gold, although we did not take it. Good thing too, man. And then, of course, we've got our 2 this morning. Well, this afternoon. Let's go see the charts. Okay, so here we go. As I mentioned, this is a demo account we use for class. We are on Hero Broker, the Hero server, if you will. So please know price points might be a little different. And given the changes in all the broker environment, the liquidity pool is shifting. The difference is definitely a lot more noticeable than, let's say, it was 6 months ago. So please take that with a grain of salt. That's outside of the realm of our control. Your broker obviously might have slightly different price points. Of course, I have GU up. It's one of the ones I wanted to look at this evening, but we'll come back to that in a second. Let's start with review. This was 319, right? That's when we last looked. We were looking for a buy. Since we were looking, we had our JGS signal, okay, our golden strategy. It did pull down a little bit. We got our 89, well, this one 54 pips or so. We came down, but we never broke structure. And if I zoom out a smidge, I still think big picture stuff, this has some more room to the upside. But for right now, I'm sitting on my hands and I'm not going to chase this any further. This has been consolidating, so I'm really looking for this breakout moment like this, but we're just not there yet. So we shall see. Right now, we're retesting the 50. Overall, great trade, not a lot of drawdown, and a great way to be. Okay, so we're going to clear the board here. Whoopsie. Try that again. Remove all drawings, so that's all cleared. I'm going to hit W twice, take that off of our list. Next, of course, we have NZDJPY. I was looking for a much larger move. We did get a move that follows our predetermined rules. What is this, 89-ish pips, give or take, right? Not a bad way to be. We came back down. We did break structure. So 4 hour, our ATR is about 24 pips. We're just beyond that range, but we are beyond it nonetheless. So am I looking for potential continuation? I am, but this isn't a trade that I'm looking at if I'm buying the JPY. So not bad. That one comes off our list. Last but not least, gold. We caught a small amount of maybe this sell, give or take, in here. A small amount. We hit our first take profit. Needless to say, this sucker has continued. It is still continuing, and we are still sitting up very, very high. We're at 23. I know a lot of us have a price point in and around this range. That's 2180, 2170. But right now we're not ready. We don't have that engulfing. We don't have that reason to be looking for the sell. So again, no trade taking. We just discussed it. Never got it. So once we broke through that white trend line, we never got that continuation. So either way, cool discussion. Something I'm going to continue to track. And I'm still going to wait for that impulse candle. Now for trade ideas for today. Couple of things. Let's see. GU. This was one that I was really encouraged and like very interested. I'm trying to choose my words right. Interested in potentially buying. But I'm already in USDCHF, and I feel like that's the better play, better risk management, better risk to reward. So I'm going to skip this, but I'm going to go over this real quick verbally. You've got this baby head and shoulders. You've got room, even measured move style from where price is currently at to where price is going. You've got a good, easy 100 pips on the table. Not a bad way to be. For me, though, the stop loss is going to be too big given the cost of this trade and their CPI tomorrow. So if I'm taking a risk and I want to give it room, I'm going to take my USD risk elsewhere. But for those of y'all interested, we have our JGS signal. We've got our reason to believe it's going to continue. We also have some mild divergence that says maybe potential continuation of this reversal too. So be very, very, very careful. USDCHF. Let's take a look. So I always normalize this. I make it consistent each and every time. This way it's duplicatable. So marking the candle prior to one that I'm on. I'm going to go ahead and mark right here, right past where price is currently at. We're going to go ahead and make this red for sell. So when I get off of this YouTube and I send it over to my team, I take this entry. Period across the board, I'm taking this entry as well. This morning in class, we took a different USD pair. This one right here wasn't as ready. We pulled back up now, so we're at a slightly better price point. Mind you, we've got to get, again, that head and shoulders. My stop loss is going to be above the actual high and not this area. And I'm always going to be adding that 4-hour ATR no matter what. My target that I'm looking at price going, that is 179-ish pips. Figure worst case scenario, you're going to get out of this one on the smaller side, 2.5 to 1. But if we look at the bigger picture, we have even more than that. So 2.5 to 1 is definitely not a bad way to be. We'll see how this one plays out. But yes, this is one of the trades that I'm going to be taking this evening as a sell. USDCHF. We've got our JGS Golden Strategy ticket telling us we're bearish. We've got our arrow. We've got our bearish. We're inside currently the moving averages. So you can use whatever entry method you want. You can scroll down time frames or whatever the case may be. But overall, I am selling this pair here. Next is CHFJPY. So again, a little hesitant to double up on the chef, but in terms of the best setups per this strategy, per this time frame, it would be these two. So same concept. We do have this nice reversal pattern. That's not very promising. But let's talk about risk to reward. So I'm going to go right where price is currently at. I'm going to make this a buy. Gotcha. Double click so I can't accidentally manipulate it. Look at the big picture. So if I go here and I hit the buy, even just into this range, okay, that's my 1.85 to 1. And granted, I'm going to be using a little bit more than that because I'm going to be using a cushion. I'm looking at a decent amount of pips. Mind you, the pips on this, the value is not as high, even though it is a chef pair, depending on the broker and other factors. That's 237 pips. I am looking for a bit more than that long term. Now you're at that 2.5 figure. You're using structure plus some room. You're still going to come really close to that 2 to 1. Either way, taking all of that off the table. So let's hit BB, BX, get that off. Do I have enough room to come get my 25 to 50 pips, even if the trade does continue to the downside? I do. So that's 73. Coming up into here, that's 210. So we've got a really, really interesting area here. I'd love to see how price reacts. I'd love to see us come up and at least retest this other trend line. And overall, that's that. So tomorrow we've got some CPI. Please be mindful. Please be careful. If you have not yet joined our free public community, please make sure you do so. It's in Discord. We have a lot of cool things happening, including crypto launches and coin drops and a couple people who are helping there. We've got some EAs. We've got quite a few things. Of course, our regular classes and trade ideas. But at the end of the day, what we really have is a community, and I'm really excited about it. So we'll see what happens in the future and how we bring futures and options and everything else in between into this six-figure trading coach company, but I'm excited. So hopefully these videos are helping you. Hopefully it's showing you that trading is as easy as you make it on yourself. No, by no means does that mean it's always going to win. It's always going to be easy. You're never going to take a loss. You're always going to be unaffected by the news. It's just not the thing. It's not a thing. It's not going to happen. But hopefully you're realizing, hey, I can handle this week. I can handle this week. I can handle this broker. I can handle this trade. And then you're on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. All you need is a very foolproof strategy. It doesn't have to be 100%. You just need good management that matches your strategy. And at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to. So without further ado, I hope you guys have a beautiful Tuesday. I hope you're enjoying April, and I hope it brings plenty of showers and plenty of flowers in May and all the things in between. So happy trading, take care, and God bless.